The first game of the week. Houston bombs Cleveland.
Dude, CJ Stroud is a dog. I mean, he made that Browns defense look like garbage, which nobody saw coming.
Well, when you did the picks the other day, you kind of were leaning Houston's direction. I think I turned you to Cleveland. But I think you had a gut instinct about Houston possibly going that route.
You
Maybe
know what?
not to that extent.
It wasn't so much thinking that Houston could do it. It was like Cleveland's Cleveland. They're always going to be Cleveland. It's kind of like the Cowboys. They got to suck eventually.
Yeah.
They can't do it. Like it's just not in their DNA to win a big game. And sure as shit, they absolutely didn't show up. Like all all credit to CJ Stroud. He was unreal. 16 for 21, 272, three touchdowns was absolutely phenomenal. But that defense looked like bottom three defense in the NFL, yet they were rated number one according to analytics coming in. Like, I love it, man. Playoff football. That's why I said don't count your Eagles out. I know it's been a real rough back half for you, but after seeing this weekend, shit. The
Anything's
Eagles win
possible.
today. They got a good shot to make it, baby. Like here, like let's go. You never know. I'm
Well,
excited for today. I really
yeah,
am.
I am too. It's like Sunday, a second Sunday of the weekend, honestly.
Two games.
It's minus 40 something outside again. And
Might as well
let's,
watch some football.
yeah, let's watch some football. Stay at home where it's warm.
Absolutely. But now odds are the Houston is who the Ravens will probably have to play. I mean, uh, the Steelers could win.
Yeah, I
Anybody
don't
can
see that.
win, but I just can't see them beating the Bills the way the Bills have played lately. But if the Bills win, we play Houston, and that's going to be a tough matchup, man. Houston is very good. They're rolling right now. CJ Stroud is phenomenal. So it's gonna be good. Whoever they play. I mean, I would rather play the Steelers, even though we got the competition against them, and they beat us twice this year. I don't fear them. Like the second game we lost to them, we
Yeah.
didn't have any starters, but man, oh man, good work, Houston. What a game. Man, what a showing up party for CJ Stroud.
Yeah, and it sure was. And then game two of Saturday night, Kansas City kind of dominated Miami,
Oh
which
man,
which you thought. I was hoping for Miami. I picked with
oh,
my
I was
heart.
cheering for Miami, of course, because Mahomes is always dangerous. I don't want him to get going, and I don't want Kelsey to get going. They win too much. They're too good.
Yeah,
I was just hoping maybe they would falter a bit, but it's not like Kelsey played great. It's not like Mahomes played great. Their
no.
defense is really good, but also Miami's offense was really bad. Um,
And
they they were terrible. Miami is so beat up. They were awful. They had no chance in that game. That only touchdown they got, the only points they got, was a miraculous catch by Tyreek Hill. It was underthrown. He came back to catch it with a defenseman hanging off of him. Then he ran around, juked a couple guys, and got in for a touchdown. But you take that a miraculous 72-yard catch away, they had 0 points.
yeah, and terrible conditions that game was
Oh,
played under. It was cold. The stands were empty.
yeah.
Just a brutal game to be playing.
CFL
Uh,
football game. Yeah.
yeah, maybe worse. So I actually read an article where it was one of the teams reached out to some CFL players.
Yeah, it was one of the defensemen for the Chiefs reached up to one of his buddies that plays in the CFL just to get some tips on how to stay warm in those type of conditions. Yeah.
Yeah. And wow, I don't know what the temperature was in Kansas City, but it did look cold. It
I
did
think they
look
said
cold.
for us it would have been equivalent to like minus 25 with the wind chill.
Oh no, so it was Chinookin.
It's like a nice spring day for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were a lot colder than that,
Yeah.
I know,
We were, but
on
we
that.
weren't playing football,
No,
but
we
it
were
was a
not.
lot colder this
Yeah.
weekend.
But that football would be hard.
Oh, dude, kicking it, catching it, throwing it, just God, like every hit you took would hurt a little bit more in the cold. The
Yeah,
field would feel like cement.
I always like to see when the quarterbacks, they start pulling out gloves and stuff. Haven't thrown all year with gloves, and
Yeah,
then pull out the gloves, and that's a game changer. Some can
it
throw with
is.
it, some can't.
I remember seeing Brady pull it out. He was always good with it. He was always
Yeah,
good with it. But where he's at, New England, they did get cold. They lived right off the ocean. They had a humid cold. Like he was used to
yeah.
it. Brady, the Patriots, they were used to playing in the ugly temps.
That was one weakness of the greatest quarterback the CFL has ever seen, Doug Flutie. He did not like the cold weather
Yeah.
when he played.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
if there
it would
was an
affect me too.
oh, for me too. If there was an equalizer to bring
Yeah.
Doug Flutie to normal, that was it.
It was the cold. Yeah.
You wanted a cold. Not I would be that way too. Like
Oh yeah.
shit
God.
hurts when it's
There's
cold.
some guys that are just built tough and built different, and it's like they almost thrive in it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong, and they go out there and they like
Yeah.
Brady just had the it factor and whatnot. But yeah, the next guy would be like me. I'm like, shit, this is cold. I'd rather lose out than have to play a Super Bowl or Grey Cup in -30. Have you lost your mind?
There's a slogan for the CFL that we got it right there. Shit hurts when you're balling in the cold.
Literally, yep, literally, it hurts.
Oh, and then we go to game 3 of the weekend. And I did not see it coming. I was hoping for Green
Woo!
Bay, but Green
I,
Bay absolutely, and the score is flattering because it wasn't
it,
that close.
garbage time. They got like 14 or 17 points in garbage time, but that game
Yeah.
was out of hand.
Green Bay annihilates Dallas 48-32, and unbelievable. Man, Jordan Love looked good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he looked great. Almost identical numbers to CJ Stroud. Literally 16 for 21. He just had 2 less yards. Same amount of touchdowns, same amount of completions.
Yep.
272 yards to 274, but identical yardage. Once again, another top 5 defense looked absolutely pathetic.
They
Did
did.
not show up. They couldn't stop the run. And Aaron Jones is a good runner, but you knew they're handing him the ball multiple times, and they still couldn't stop it. Like you knew they're going to run this play. They've got
Yeah.
Aaron Jones set up back there. They're going to run this next play. They would run it 18 yards right down the gut. I was just like, guys, what is going on today and this weekend? Like, where is the defense? And
There were a lot, and this is all the games. There were a lot of big plays, like
huge
second
plays.
and 27 or third and 27 was not a out of this world, chance. It happened.
Every game, I was like, oh, you get a guy third and 18. Like this is when you close it down. You give him 5 yards, tackle him, make him punt it. And he throws for 32 yards to a wide open receiver every time. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, where is the defense? What is going on? There was probably a dozen of those plays.
There were, and Dallas's pass rush didn't look great. Their
What
coverage
pass rush?
yeah, their coverage is terrible. I mean, Micah Parsons.
I'm not sure he played yesterday. I'm not sure I saw him.
Yeah, and I'm thinking Jerry Jones seen some stuff though yesterday that he did not like.
I can't believe they interviewed him right after the game.
Well, they're looking for dirt, right? And something's going to happen in Dallas. I totally believe Mike McCarthy is gone. Like,
I do too. I really do. Yeah, I believe he's toast, and they got a lot of options there. Like, there's a lot of good coaching available. Like you said, there's Pete Carroll, there's Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick is really tied to that one, big time.
You think Bill Belichick though will go to a place where Jerry Jones is at? Because Jerry likes control too, right?
That's what I don't think. However, maybe this would be the one guy Jerry would give proper control to, is someone who is. So maybe this might be the one perfect recipe for him. Plus, Jerry Jones is 142. He's probably going to die in the next 6 years.
I was going to say him
very possible, but he's old.
Him and Bill Belichick are freaking near the same age.
Yeah, like they both are bringing in pension if they hadn't made $6 billion already, and
well, Jerry's got to be in his 80s. Like he does. He has.
Oh shit, man! He could barely speak yesterday. He looked like he looked like a better version of Joe Biden.
I'm just
With the
Googling it
interview
right now.
yesterday.
Jerry Jones is 81 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time that he finds a guy that he can trust and go with. And if you can't trust Belichick with a team, maybe you should give the team to your kids.
Yeah. Well, I think his kids maybe are kind of involved there a
I
little
think
bit.
so.
But,
They're at every game now. They sit there and whatnot.
yeah.
But
Well, did you see in Detroit's, this is changing subjects, but Detroit's game, the Ford lady was there and she's, what was she, in her 90s, I think.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, all these
crazy.
owners are ridiculously old. Like,
Well, how else do you become a billionaire, trillionaire to own an NFL club? Like you got to be
and,
old.
and they're not relinquishing the control of the team.
No, mm-mm. It's actually crazy. Like I don't
It
know.
is.
I'd be like,
It is.
hey, I don't want the stress. I don't want it anymore. But I want to keep an owner's box. So I can still enjoy it. It's my baby. You can
Yeah.
own it. You can have it. You make the decisions. I just want to come enjoy the games. Like that's totally where I'd be at. I wouldn't want control anymore. Wouldn't want the stress. Jesus, they haven't won a playoff game in 32 years. That had to be stressful as an owner. Everywhere you go, people asking and seeing you.
Yeah.
You're the known loser. But
And the Ford family owns everything in Detroit, it appears.
everything.
Like, well, we might as well talk about that game. That was, and then we'll get flip back to coaches and stuff like that. But Detroit 24-23 winners over the Rams, and Puka Nakua
Oh,
was,
dude,
wow.
I don't even know if they threw to Cooper Cup. They just used him as a decoy
Well,
all night long, basically until the end.
the one end zone toss was towards Cup, but
Yeah,
it didn't
right
convert.
out towards the end.
Yeah, yeah. Like they were looking for Nakua all day long.
I would too. I
And
would use that son of a bitch. He is
yeah,
unbelievable.
he is. And Matt Stafford,
He's
man,
so good.
he was throwing darts.
So that started, which is crazy because I thought the Rams were just complete dog shit. And then they played my Ravens like week 9, 10, or 11,
Yeah,
somewhere in there. And they took my Ravens to overtime. And we won on an interception, like a beautiful, like it was a good throw. It was just one of those diving defender outplayed the receiver, not a bad throw. And then we just had to kick the field goal and we won. But that game, like Lamar had a hell of a game. He would go down and score, and all of a sudden I'm like, our defense is amazing. Why are they just doing this? But then I realized week after week, I mean, I started following the Rams after that. Stafford was just clicking between Puka Nakua, him, and Cup.
yeah,
He was absolutely rolling. And last night he was dealing, man. Just sidearming it, no look passes. Like Stafford was balling out last night, but Detroit's defense made a few big plays that they needed
yeah.
to.
When they needed to.
And Goff and Dan Campbell put their balls on the line on that third down throw to Amon St. Brown when everybody assumed they were just going to run it and move the clock down a little more. He
Yeah,
backs
yeah.
up and he makes a dart of a throw. And
I like it.
over.
End the game.
End the game, baby. Dan Campbell, 2 fourth down goes and got them both last night. Like, he don't give a shit.
No, but he's one of the boys. Them guys play for him. Like
They
you
love
could
him.
tell emotionally he is their leader and he's invested emotionally too. Like
Man. He is. I mean, but the whole franchise, did you see the clip of the GM in the elevator after the game?
no, no.
So their GM, older guy, after the game, they post a picture of him and all of his entourage, like his, there's bodyguards and
Yeah.
there's whatever personnel in there, and they're just going into the elevator to go probably from the press box down to the field. And there's a guy videoing him in the elevator, and he's just freaking out. Whoa! He's just screaming and jumping like he's like in his 60s, and he is going ballistic, man. Like it was like, wow, there is some pent up excitement here. Like haven't had a playoff game in 30 years at home. Now they get 2 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is pretty good. And they brought in the old boys. Barry Sanders was in the house, and Megatron was in the house.
There was more.
Eminem they were showing.
Eminem was there, of course. Tim Allen was there last night. And the guy from Dumb and Dumber. Not Tim Carey, the other guy.
Oh, the other guy, yeah.
Other main character, a huge Lions fan. Everyone was there to witness maybe history. And sure enough.
Well, that's a beautiful stadium. I did not
it is gorgeous.
how big that is. Like that
huge.
is Unbelievable.
And it was so freaking loud in there. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Like,
So
but you knew it was going to
after
be.
yeah, after the weekend, like why not have a dome? To me, the outside weather does not matter.
Why
Um,
Buffalo is building that new stadium without a roof is ridiculous.
it
Every
is.
year they have 2 or 3 weeks of absolute crazy snow that they can't control.
Yeah,
Put a
yeah.
roof on there. You guys are trillionaires. This isn't the CFL. You can afford a roof. Put a roof on.
Well, and the taxpayers are paying for it anyway. So
Yeah, they gave up 850 million for the Bills stadium. It's not like, where the owner's building it and it's his own
yeah,
money. It's
no,
taxpayer dollars, most of it.
exactly. And as a player, if I am a free agent, I'm looking to those places that have domes. Actually,
Oh,
like
me too.
why would you not want to play in good conditions?
I think I'd really, I mean, as shitty as it is, there are other factors too. Like, I like Las Vegas's because it's got real grass. They roll it in and roll it out. I think
Yeah,
Arizona does the same thing.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
Um, Arizona and Vegas are the only two. It just sucks that their their teams are dog shit. But all the other indoors, I think they all got turf, and I don't like turf. Last night that hit on Higby, I think his name is Tyler Higby.
oh yeah, that low hit where
It,
his knee,
but
you
if
could
you
tell.
saw, the reason he snapped like that was his foot got stuck in the turf.
Yeah,
They slow-moed it, and his front foot got stuck in the turf and couldn't get out. And when he took the hit, it like did the old. But I mean, the other foot was up, and
yeah,
he was trying to absorb it as much as he could, but the other foot actually got stuck in the turf, and
yeah.
and probably helped accentuate that injury a lot worse than it was.
Those low hits though are dangerous, man.
Oh
Below the
man,
knees.
I mean that's old school football. That's how you're taught to hit. You take them out at the legs, baby.
Yeah, yeah, that
Only
is.
the quarterback were you not allowed to do that to, but everyone else, get them sons of bitch.
I think they got to take that hit out of the game though against the receivers. Like they're in a vulnerable position there.
They are, but if you start making it so that you can't be hit across the middle, and you already can't hit them high. If they're going up for a catch, you're not supposed to hit
Yeah.
them. You're supposed to be going for the ball. They call it, defenseless and whatnot. I mean, Ray Lewis wouldn't even have been able to play. Dawkins wouldn't even have
No.
been able to play back in the day. Ed Reed wouldn't have been able to play. Like they're making
Uh,
it like Tom Brady said, when you play against defenders that hit like that, you just don't throw over the middle. It changes the game. That's how that works. It's up to the quarterback for safety as well, not to be
yes, that's
throwing it
true.
over the middle. Like
That's true.
Tom said, his last interview on his podcast there, like I love listening to it. He does not like the direction of all the safety that's going. He said the safety onus should be on the receiver. There is a way to catch the ball, or don't go up and go get it. Tell your quarterback, don't you dare throw me that route in this position. Like
Yeah.
that's not how we play the game. If you want to, or if I say, well, we need the first down, this is everything's on the line, I'm willing to take the hit, I'll go into the huddle, he said. And he's like, Edelman used to do that. He's like, we need it. There's no choice. We got to go. We aren't catching anything on the outside. I'm running down the middle. I'll take one. I'll get popped. Let's go. And his interview was awesome. If I find it again, I'll send it to you. He's like, throw it kind of, away from my body, not up high. I'll grab it. I'll take the hit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like, and
But
he's like, it's on everybody. But he's like, the league doesn't, like, they put everything on the defense and don't hit like that. Don't lead with your helmet, yada, yada, yada. He's like, it's got to be on everybody. He's like, because everyone's out there, like, being more cautious, and it's affecting the game. The catches aren't the same. The throws aren't the same. The defense is worried. Their tackling sucks. And he's not wrong. Everybody's
no,
afraid
no.
to do something. I mean, there's a couple roughing the passers that were horrible this weekend. Should never have been called.
Do you not think though, because they got the chop block already for the linemen, that we could have something where your hitting target is above the knee, below the
Yeah, I mean,
shoulder
that's
pad?
something. But the problem is a lot of times you're diving way away, right? Now, if you trip a guy up, which,
Yeah.
like shoelace tackle, now where does that fall in, right?
Yeah, well, I would say a shoelace tackle would be okay, but it's when your full body leads into below the knee.
Yeah,
Then,
you've got that shoulder going through the
yeah,
legs, But the
yeah,
problem is it's such a fast game. There's going to be, I mean, I see them every game. They tackle a guy, not a shoelace tackle, but the guy kind of jukes him. And so they got to kind of dive at him and they take him right below the legs and wrap him up. And it's a pretty vicious looking hit, It's
yeah.
tough. The
It
game
is
is so
tough.
fast. Like,
It
I
is. It
just,
is. One
Yeah,
good thing is the referees weren't much of the talk this weekend.
except for yesterday's game. That could have cost them that like they were gonna go for it on 4th and 4. And they
Yeah.
called whatever procedure
Oh,
on the
yeah,
Lions.
that
That
was
was that
definitely
was
offside.
offside on defense.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the
Like,
Rams got away with one there, big time.
and I guess Brad Allen tried to appeal his so he could ref some playoff games because that's where all the money comes in for those guys, and they turned it
Yeah,
down. Thank God, as they should. They should never let that guy ref again. 6 games he's been a part of this year. They announced yesterday of very controversial calls throughout the
but
season. Six
but
games.
NFL has to get into. They have to. How should I word this? They have to get into the modern times and allow some challenges on certain plays, like
Yeah, there's
allow
lots
your.
that you can't. Lots that you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, like that one should have been a ability to challenge
There was
it.
multiple pass interference where guys got tackled before the ball was anywhere near them. I
Yeah.
mean, in the CFL, you are throwing that flag, and that is
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
pass interference.
And if they're worried about the game running long, well, you only allow like one or two
That's right.
challenges, and
Just
that's
like the
it.
CFL
So,
does.
yeah, yeah, and you're not, challenging every other play, and the game
Yeah.
goes for
Well, you
6
can't. You're
hours.
risking your timeouts, and you only got two, and yeah, no, and you can't do it under 2 minutes. Those rules keep that shit in there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
no,
where the
I
CFL is
agree.
definitely ahead of the NFL, for
Yep,
sure. It really is.
absolutely. It
And,
helps
and
with the
if you
shitty
get the
referee.
Yeah, if you get the first challenge right, you get a second one right. If you
Right.
lose it, you lose a timeout. So, one thing I wanted to get to before we get to today's games is is the NFL heading towards a young man's game where you're going to see less and less money go to these, I don't know, even the late 29, 28-year-old guys, once you're over 30. Like you look at Green Bay yesterday, youngest team in the NFL.
Yep.
Why would you not want to go that route and have lower paid guys and have all kinds of room in the salary cap instead of being at the cap with an older team such as Philadelphia? Because I believe Philly's too old. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a young man's game. There's no doubt with the speed and just the way that everything goes nowadays. But I do feel you need a good mix, but with the paying and whatnot, yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. I mean, my God, you can build a pretty amazing team all around rather than just having a stacked here, a stacked there. I mean, look at the Chiefs. They've got a very highly paid defensive team, and it
Yeah,
showed up, but it won them this weekend because they played against a shitty football club, in
yeah,
my opinion. But their offense is still struggling mightily because they have no money left. They gave all of it to one guy on the offense, and their other highest paid offensive guy is not doing it. He's got the Swift issue.
yeah.
And
And then they
then their
got one
defense
guy
is
in
good.
defense.
But on the Green Bay Packers, they don't have a superstar on that entire team, but they do not have a guy that can't plug and play anywhere. Every guy that
Oh,
goes for a catch, goes for a run, his offensive line kept him clean. The defensive were kind of like they move as a unit. Like everywhere they went, there was like 5 guys attacking, and it was like these guys are all playing for one goal just to win. Nobody's making big bucks on this squad, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Now, I mean, Dallas did just cough it right up. Holy
it
shit, were they
is.
bad? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm with you. That's the way to go.
I actually think Green Bay is going to give San Francisco trouble.
I
I'm
would
not.
love to see it. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, let's go. That'd be
I would
great.
not. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they are not an easy out.
No,
Green
I
Bay.
don't think they're an easy out. I real just like I didn't think the Rams were going to be. I know I looked online last night and there was a few guys. I don't know which sports book it was. The one Barstool's always promotes.
Yeah,
Um, they had Lions as heavy favorites, and I was
I
like,
did
oh
not either.
man,
Yeah,
Stafford is a dog. Like I don't know, man. And the Lions are the Lions. They're like the Cleveland Browns almost. Like,
yeah.
and then everywhere else was only like a 3 point spread. I think the max I saw was a 6 point spread, but they had them at 11.
Well,
Their sports book, and I was like, they're never going to cover 11. Are you nuts?
look at all the rookies. Puka Nakua, record broken. Jordan Love, perfect passer rating.
CJ
Uh,
Stroud. No,
CJ
not perfect, just under perfect. Him and CJ, they were 1 point off. They were in 157,
158 something. They were what?
157.9 they finished at.
Okay, okay.
Just missed it. Yeah,
Yeah,
according to
but
analytics last night. Yeah, like by like
and that
I don't know why,
Dobbs
but
that Dobbs receiver from Green Bay was just stellar too. Like all guys under 25 players of the weekend.
absolutely they were. No questions asked, man. Like Amon St. Brown isn't a rookie, but he's a young guy too. And he was the most, like him and Puka were the by far
Yeah.
the two most credible guys. Amon St. Brown was double teamed all night, so he couldn't do what Puka Nakua did.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a Cooper Cup on the other side of him. So, but
He is the
Laporta.
Cooper
What
Cup.
about
He is the
Laporta?
Cooper Cup.
Like
Yeah.
Sam Laporta, another stud, young guy. Absolutely
Well,
crutch. Hutchinson,
yeah.
absolutely
Aiden
stellar,
Hutchinson.
young guy.
Yeah. I truly believe the prime window has gotten younger. Like I would call your prime window 23 to 28 now.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. And for running backs, 7 to 9 years old. Like
yeah. Yeah.
22 and you're on the way out, baby. Like I have no idea, but they must
Well,
get
and
the shit.
I think you're going to see the teams change their strategy and not pay as much for guys 28, 29, unless you're a QB.
Yes,
The
different.
QB, but if you're a defensive lineman, if you're maybe an O lineman still gets paid because there's some good older
Yes.
line,
Plus, it
you know.
takes a while to become a great O lineman. There's so many moving parts to an
Yeah,
O line.
but DBs,
Receivers.
linebackers, receivers. I think all those guys are going to feel the financial pressure moving forward when they get to that 28, 29 years old.
I agree. Drafting is going to become 10 times more important.
Yeah.
Everything.
And
I totally agree with that.
today's university athlete, whether we're talking football, whether you see guys coming out of the WHL for hockey or whatever, they're ready when they're 20.
Well, it's because the game's changed so much. Like back in the day when you made it to the NHL, you still were just living at mom and dad's until that point, basically.
Yeah.
Now these kids have custom skate training, strength training, their nutritional all from 10 years old. So by the time they hit 18, they're ready. They're
Well, at
already trained
15,
for 8 years to be in the
yeah,
NHL.
at 15, they're dominating the Canadian Hockey League. Like,
Exactly. That didn't exist before because the training didn't exist. The
no,
know-how didn't exist yet. It was all, like you went and played midget AAA. It was just a better league of hockey, but you didn't have custom trainers, personal trainers working just on you, guys telling you how to eat, how to sleep, what to eat, where to eat it, when to eat it. That's only come out in the last 12 years. And the
yeah.
football program is no different. These college kids are coming out ready where they were coming out very fresh, 10, 15 years ago. They weren't ready for that step,
No,
but they are now.
Yeah, it took 3, 4, 5 years for them to learn the system and become a dominant player in the NFL. Now the rookies are coming in. Puka Nakua was fourth in the league in receiving with 100 and some catches. Like,
Yeah.
And it's not just one guy you're seeing. You're seeing multiple young guys do that at
across
each
the
and
board.
every. Yeah,
Across the board. Our best receiver was Zay Flowers. Got up to 1,000 yards this year. The Ravens have never had 1,000-yard receivers since like Shannon Sharp, and he was like at the end of his career when we got him.
Yeah,
he was the savvy vet. And this is his first year. He's a rookie, and we didn't throw to him a ton. He didn't have near the catches the other guys did, but he had a few like 70-yard touchdowns. Like our rookie was our best receiver.
I agree. And I totally feel there's a big change coming.
Yeah, the shift is happening. And I think the old boys know it, and they're scared.
Yeah, they are. And so let's look ahead to tonight. We got 2 games tonight before we close the show. This afternoon, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. What do you see happening there?
I see it being a 10-point win for the Bills if everything goes well. Josh Allen is going to throw his interception or he's going to fumble. Happens every game, and he overcomes it every game. It's not a big deal when he does it. It's not like other teams. But this weekend has proven if you make mistakes, you're probably going to pay for them more than ever this weekend. I saw
Yeah.
it. The teams that made their mistakes early couldn't get back from them. That was it.
No.
But I don't know if the Steelers have sustained offense enough. I do believe their defense is good enough, even without TJ Watt in this type of cold, I believe, and snow and whatnot. It does benefit the Steelers more because I don't think that the Bills can run their high prolific offense as easy. And the
Yeah.
Steelers don't have a high prolific offense. They don't even have an offense. So this might benefit them in a way, but I still see the Bills absolutely winning the game. I just talent wise, the Bills are better and the Bills are healthier.
They are. And the Bills,
and their
the
defense
Bills have
is playing good. Very good.
and the Bills have that Cook kid in the backfield. And that is the difference between this year's Bills
and every other year's Bills.
Yeah, they can muck it up running the ball.
And then you got Diggs. And then you got I know Davis, I don't think is playing this week, but you got Diggs and you got Cook.
Josh Allen, Keith Kincaid. I agree. I Pittsburgh doesn't have enough if they're healthy, yet alone not being healthy.
I agree. I think they always keep it close. Tomlin's always that guy that does just enough. He schemes, he's smart, he's a good coach. They got guys that buy in, and that changes everything. But I mean, if they won, it would be a shocker and a half for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, it would be too, and that would be an easy way for the Ravens to advance to the AFC final.
I hope so. And then you never know if they could beat the Bills, maybe they could beat the Ravens too. But I'm comfortable going into a game against them.
Oh, I would be too.
Who knows what happens during? I mean, the Steelers always seem to get in our heads. They've knocked us out multiple years previous. They're our arch nemesis, but at the same time, you want to play the team. You want to play them. That would get you ready. It would be, a divisional game. Man, oh man, that'd be historic if that's what they're playing.
Would you class Mike Tomlin as one of the best coaches to ever coach the game?
He's a winner. How many winning seasons in a row? And he didn't even have a quarterback. He's definitely a damn good coach. I would never class him there ever, even if he won 100 Super Bowls, because I hate him. But at the same time, I can't take anything away from him. Mike Tomlin's a winner. He's a damn winner, that guy.
He is. And I rank him up there because, man, the longevity. Pittsburgh Steelers, of course, it seems like they've only had 3 coaches in their history.
I know, and they've been around for 1 billion years. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Rooney family definitely has loyalty to their coaches, and Bill Cowher before this, Mike Tomlin, and I don't even know who was before Bill Cowher. I can't.
Who knows? Jesus.
Those last 2 guys cover 40 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. They do, man. It's unbelievable. Who knows before then who it was?
Yeah, but anyways, nightcap game, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Thoughts there?
Well, nice weather. They're going into nice weather. Should be a fun game. Baker has a million things to prove, but I don't think he can prove it. I don't. It would be a massive upset to me, even though they're hosting. I think the Eagles, even though they've slid, they have the better roster. They've got Jalen Hurts. They've got Kelsey. They've got Lane. They've got.
They don't have Brown. They do not have.
They don't. So Devonta Smith's going to have a very big game. And DeAndre Swift, buddy boy, it's your time. Let's go. Hand that kid the ball all day long. Ground and pound that game. Because really, for me, it's going to come down to him running the ball and them keeping Mike Evans out of the end zone. That's what it comes down to for me, 100%. You stop Mike Evans, you're going to own that game, and you control the time of possession with DeAndre Swift and Jalen Hurts making the odd dart and slant route to Devonta Smith. You throw in there the tight ends for the Eagles, a little bit of ground and pound. Eagles have the recipe to turn things around, and with this playoffs, it might be just what they need with the few upsets that have happened already. You get the Eagles in there, get them, thinking okay, guys, we can do this after a win tonight. A win will change everything, I think, this year. So we'll see.
We'll see. I'm not confident, but the one guy I'm saying to watch is Quez Watkins, the receiver that's going in for AJ Brown. Look out, because he's a young guy. He's got a wee bit of experience, and this playoffs have shown. Watch out for the young guys.
Yeah. The rookies
Like,
have done it all.
yeah, and he's got probably 2 years under his belt, but that's the one guy you ain't expecting to have a big game. But look out, he could.
No, they're probably celebrating that AJ Brown isn't playing, so that's a big window
Yeah,
open.
Jalen Carter as well.
He's awesome.
He's going to
Awesome.
be a beast in the middle. Him and Jordan Davis. But I'm worried. Philadelphia is an old roster. They're hurt bad. Yeah, lots of things. And in one aspect, I don't think we're Super Bowl contenders. So I would almost like to see him lose to see what we do with the head coaching, because I would love Mike Vrabel in Philadelphia. I truly would love
Oh man,
that.
I'm sold on Vrabel. I'm telling you, that guy is Vrabel's amazing. He is
Yeah,
just. I love his
and
passion. I cannot believe the Titans let him go. Without someone immediately ready to fill that spot, like
yeah,
it's not an
I
easy. You can't easily replace that guy. He had
no.
players buying in, even on dog shit teams.
Yeah, and I agree. And I believe Philadelphia, doesn't matter what they do, they're changing coordinators anyways, defense and offense, both
Yeah, I,
coordinators.
I agree with that.
Yeah, maybe Nick Sirianni survives, maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
I
Depends.
don't think
Hey,
so. I don't think he will. I just don't. I think there's some availability out there with other coaches. They'll make the move. And the Eagles are an enticing market. They got great fan base. They've got a great core. They've got the pieces there. They've already got a great quarterback. I think
Bill Belichick,
that's
that's
a
a
coach's
spot for
dream.
him as well.
I
Like,
think Belichick could easily, seamlessly move into that place. I
yeah,
really do.
it crazy, but we're going to see a lot of coaching changes ahead. I don't think the coaches are going to rush out and sign though, because they could possibly land on some teams that are Super Bowl ready next
Oh
year.
yeah,
Like, you ain't going to rush out and sign now, because even in the next 2 weeks, if teams lose, they could be making coaching changes. I would
big time.
not be
Probably the
surprised.
most moving coaches that have in one season ever is going to be this year.
Yeah, yeah, and of good teams, like I said, not
Yes.
just mediocre teams that need 2 or 3 years to get back there. No, good teams.
Good teams, dude. Yeah. No, lots of good teams being able to, be
Like,
fulfilled immediately. Like yeah, it's kind of crazy.
did the Browns move on from their coach?
I don't know, like they might want to just fold up the tent there. I mean, honestly, the entire Browns organization now, this was really their chance with Flacco playing so good. I
Yeah,
love it. I absolutely love it being a Ravens fan, but you got Watson again next year, baby. Like there is nothing to fear with that guy. He's more interested in his Fortnite and his massages than he is about what's going on in the field. Like Jesus, during the games when he was injured, he was sitting in the stands with some, I don't know, stripper, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. I don't know. Some very pretty girl. Probably not a stripper, maybe just a masseuse, but sitting up there. And then you go and you look at the Bengals with Joe Burrow, and he's sitting on the sidelines coaching, got the headset on. He's involved in the game. He never
yeah,
once went down to help Joe Flacco or the other guy they had, PJ Walker or whoever. No. When he was injured, gone. In the stands, watching, enjoying the games. He hasn't bought in. The only thing he bought into was owning part of a team because they paid him so damn much guaranteed money. I think the Browns are in trouble. They're going to have a great defense again, but guess what? You got to score points. You can't just win off your defense because if they're out there all day, just like happened in their game in the second half, they got tired
yeah,
and
yeah.
they got exposed when they were tired.
And Cincinnati is one team that we can totally expect to be at the top of the league
Yes,
again
they'll
next
be back.
year.
Joe Burrow healthy, that team is in. They've got a
Yeah,
great running game and they've got Jamar Chase.
yeah,
And that's all you need with Joe Burrow. They can take a page out of Browning's book, though, and ground and pound a little more. Because, I mean,
yeah,
that was one thing Joe didn't do for the 4 games he was healthy. He just kept throwing, and they were 2-2. You gotta establish that ground game first. You got to open
and
up Jamar Chase. That's how you get to him.
I think you'll see a new running back in Cincinnati actually
I do too.
next year. I
Yeah.
really do.
They'll pick up
And
a rookie. That'll be a stud.
yeah, yeah, because their running back now, well, he had a little bit of legal trouble and
Yeah,
all kinds of
they
stuff.
all do.
Yeah,
Kicking girls in elevators like the Ravens. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And before we go, I got to mention this: the Edmonton Oilers 10-game win
10
streak, and
games.
they are back in it. Vegas and LA are within reach.
Oh man.
Like Edmonton has games on hand on everyone.
Yeah, they're 3 or 4 games under everyone else.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's a good time to be an Oilers fan again,
yeah, there you
as it was
go.
early.
There you go. I
And the
told
Flames
you it
are
would
winning
be.
too. The Flames are
Yeah,
winning.
I mean, the Flames team, it's all youth. You talk about it with the NFL, but Jesus, man, every night it's youth and Blake Coleman, which is the craziest thing. He's having just a killer year. He's almost at 20 goals, but it's
Yeah,
all these youth. It's Sharon Govich night in, night out, 2, 3 points. Connor Zary, Pospisil, all these guys, and I mean we don't even have our best guys playing. We don't have Peltier. He just came back to the AHL. We don't have Coronado up. We got 3 young guys that could all be playing up that are still down in the AHL. And I
well,
don't even know what's going on at this point. I'm like, we're like
yeah.
right there with Nashville and whatnot. I'm like, I don't know, guys. We're gonna finish 1 point out of the playoffs again. We're just gonna keep doing this for a cycle thing. But if they can get on a streak, I'm sure they can catch the wild card positions eventually. Um, it's just
If, if,
not what I wanted. I mean, if this
yeah.
is the young squad and this is our team going forward, and these young guys that aren't playing yet are going to be the pieces, and we don't have to go through a full rebuild, great. But I'm still not sold on it. I'm
I
just
think you're going to see the Flames. This is just a prediction of mine. They're going to sell. They're going to sell. They're going to get rid of Markstrom probably.
They should
Uh,
have already. I'm just
yeah,
confused. But
they're going to get rid of all their veterans, Tanev and
yeah, Tanev needs to go. I mean, me and Devin talked about it this weekend. I would have liked to see him gone already because he's one play away from another injury. That guy is nuts. He puts his face in
yeah,
front of the puck, and the next injury is going to cost us massive on the trade scale. So
Hannafin, Lindholm. They're all going to go, and you're going to get a bunch of young guys, and you're going to be way better for it. You sacrifice this year for the next 10.
agree, but the problem is you got to start sacrificing now. You can't wait
Yes.
for the trade deadline. Like it should be happening. 1 or 2 should already be gone. Zadorov, the only reason he went early was because he was terrible in the dressing room.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
The
called the
only thing is, I think they're waiting for the prices to be at the highest peak. That's
yeah, you
probably
know how
why.
that works. That's like
I know.
waiting to sell your grain for next week because it's going to be a little higher, and then it drops a little more, and it's like I should have sold last week. Shit.
And then when you
That's
do
the
sell, the price goes up.
exactly like that's the risk you take with Tanev because he is having a great year when he's not missing half his face from a puck. But every like the last game, I'm like me and Devin were talking about it, and he went and he dove like I'm a diving football player to block a shot. I'm like, Jesus, man, what is he doing? He's an absolute he's a beauty out there. He gives up his whole body. He's bought in. He's fully
But he's
invested no
beat
matter
up.
what. But man, oh man, sell him now. Get rid of him like in the middle of the game. After I see that, I'm like, get him off the ice. Get him off the ice. We need something for him. He's gonna die. But
I truly believe Tanev does not have many years left in the NHL because
no,
he's beat up
I
so much.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's just devoted his whole entire body to science at this point. Like it just
Yeah.
let's see if I can give my body with 17,000 broken bones and see if they can figure it out.
And one more shout out to a local kid. Since Zach Smith has taken over the offensive side of the Swift Current Broncos, they're averaging
One in score.
5 point some goals a game, the most in the
It's crazy.
WHL.
Every time I
Since
look them up, not Zach, but the I
yeah,
always look up the Tigers and the Broncos. It's like 5 goals, 6 goals, 4 goals,
yeah,
5 goals,
the
7 goals. I'm
Broncos.
like, Jesus, man, do they score
Yeah.
a lot?
So local boy takes over the offense of the Broncos, and man, are they on fire offensively?
It's awesome.
I mean,
So
they
awesome.
have made some trades to help that situation
Of
too.
course, which is
Um,
smart.
yeah, I kind of think if Zach, if that's the road he wants to go at some point, he will have head coaching opportunities,
That
and
would be so crazy, so cool. Good for
yeah,
him. I hope he is. That'd be the coolest thing.
that would be the coolest. So, but he's got some young kids coming too. So
Yep.
depends what he wants to do, right? But the
I say stick with
opportunity,
it. Your kids will love it. You'll give them a cool life too. It'll be awesome from the NHL to the Dub, and you'll be back in the NHL. You'll be
yeah,
coaching there. If you can be a
could be
head
a
coach
coach.
in the Dub and you've got history in the NHL, you'll be back up there.
Yeah, maybe Ottawa even, because Ottawa, let's be honest, needs a coach.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, a little too early for that, but I'd love to see him in the Flames so I could go watch and support the team that he does, or even if the Oilers would pick him up as an assistant,
Well,
still
we kind
support
of
him, but I would
the
support
Oilers
him.
change coaches every year, kind of. So I mean,
Yeah, Not if this guy can continue this, man. This guy's got the guys buying in. So
He does, he does. But anyways, we'll wrap her up there, and on Tuesday we'll be still talking football because 2 more games today.
today's exciting. I even get to watch one for an hour and a half while I work today because it starts at 3:30 our time. So
Yes, yes, and that'll be I like Buffalo. They're kind of my second team, so I cheer for Buffalo.
and I hate the Steelers, so I'm also cheering for Buffalo. So
Yeah, and as free agency inches closer in the CFL, that's going to get mighty interesting too. We'll be talking a lot of football here in the next month for sure.
God, I love football.
Me too, me too. Well, you have a great day in the cold, and
Yep.
stay warm, my friend. Tonight, the temperature's supposed to start improving. When
A little
we're
bit,
sleeping
a little bit.
tonight,
Tomorrow will be
things
much
are gonna
better.
improve.
And let's go, baby.
Pluses by the weekend. How can you go wrong?
Absolutely. I got the swimming trunks ready.
Well, right on, but let me get the dark shades if you're wearing trunks, man.
Yeah, you might want to just pin your eyes back completely. Yeah, get some tape.
Look out, Canada. Josh
This-
is on the
This
trunk.
body ain't Hawaii ready, I'll tell you.
It's not NFL worthy yet either.
Oh, no, this is not an NFL body. This is an NFL fan body. This is an NFL
Yeah.
fan body.
A
Yeah.
tailgate body.
Yes, potato chips and beers. Here we come.
Why be a player body when you can have a tailgate body?
Those guys are nuts. It's way better to tailgate.
Yeah, look at the stress they have to go through, eh?
Although I think we go through the same damn stress every game when my team plays. I can't drink, can't shit, can't talk. I'm disastrous. I hate I'm like, this weekend was so good for me. Like, I
Well-
either want to be out or be in the AFC waiting, like it's like this
Yeah.
is stressful.
Well, the stress is coming for you this weekend because the
Yeah, it
Ravens-
is. It sure is.
And,
You
and
bet.
they don't know the day yet because it depends
Nope.
on today's game.
All depends on that 3:30 game.
Yep. So
We'll know tomorrow.
talk
All
about
the
it
matchups.
tomorrow morning.
We
Yeah.
will.
You betcha. All right. Well, you have a good day, my friend, and
You too,
we'll catch
Tyson.
tomorrow. You betcha.
See you, buddy.